I'm in Shenandoah National Park, up in the Northern District. This is Lands Run Gap. There's my little red car. And this is the parking lot here at Lands Run Gap. Up there, Skyline Drive. It's about mile marker number 9. And decided to try and get another hike in before winter closes in. It's pretty cold up here today though. It's about 35 degrees with a light wind. Anyway, I'm going to hike this. This is Lands Run Gap Fire Road. Starts at the bottom of the park on the west side and comes up the west side of the mountain. So decided I've hiked this before. It's a nice hike. So let's get started. We're going to head on down the west side of the mountain. The elevation here is 2,000 feet. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike. I'm down to 1,690 feet elevation. And these are the headwaters of Lands Run right here. Getting ready to cross them. There's where I came from, down the fire road. And just after you go past a hairpin turn, you'll see these headwaters. There's looking upstream. We're going to continue down the side of the mountain, but first I'm going to take you over here because there's a drop-off right there, and it's a bit of a waterfall there. So I'll get a few pictures of that before we continue on. So you can see most of the leaves have fallen off the trees now. Right after you cross the headwaters of Lands Run, where the waterfall is, you'll see this little rise here. And this is a real nice spot that you could camp in, especially hammock camping. I've actually camped overnight here before. It's real nice here because you've got access to plenty of water. See, somebody else thought it was a nice camping spot too. That's a fire pit somebody put together for illegal fire. Down there, maybe you can see it straight ahead, is the road, the fire road it came down on. Down there's the where the water is. And then the road continues up here and just around the bend this way. And I'll be following that here in a second. But got some rocks there that you could set up a little cooking stove on, or maybe even use that fire pit. And what I did was I set up hammocks between like that tree there and that one over there. Anyway, I'll mark it on the map. Also, just past the camping spot, this is the main road that I'm hiking down. But right there is another road, an old road. You have to look for it though, because up here, where I guess where it used to run into the main road, has been obliterated, either by them grading this road or maybe just erosion or whatever. But anyway, right there is, I'm not going to go down there, but right there's another road. Maybe you can see it. I'll show it to you on the map when I get home. There's the road. And here's the main road right here. I'll mark it on the map, or on my GPS. .2 miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,560 feet elevation, and right there is the trace of an old road, another road that came in and intersected with this main one. So that tree with the double blaze, that'd be like the left side of the road, and then my trekking poles are in the middle of the road, and then that smaller tree over there to the right would be the other side. And if you look there on the right hand side, you can see kind of a stone embankment where they piled up the rocks, and it's a little hard to see, but if you look up past that tree that's blown down, or maybe even under it, there's a trace of an old road, went up the side of the mountain. I'll mark that one. I'll show you that one when I get home, because it's on the map. This is, here's the main road it came down on, and when you get, there's a hairpin turn right here, and continues on down the side of the mountain. And right at the hairpin turn, when you're coming down, if you look over here to the left, and look for that tree with the double blaze, and then study this area, and you'll see that's an old road. It's right before you get to this feeder stream that's right down there. So, going to continue on down till I get to the park boundary. 2.2 miles into my hike. I'm down to 1,140 feet. And I just walked outside the park. There's the chain across the road. And red blazing over here on the right-hand side when you're coming up from the bottom. On the right-hand side when you get to the chain, there's the park boundary there. There's another sign there off to the right, park boundary. But over here on the left, there's a bunch of no trespassing signs. And when you get up there a little ways, on my way back, I'll take some more pictures, but there's actually on the left side of the Lands Run, there's actually somebody's living up there. It looks like they took an old Quonset hut and converted it into a house. So anyway, as long as you stay on the road, you'll be just fine. .3 miles. I'm up to 1170, and this is heading up the side of the mountain. And right here, it's only about 1/10 of a mile from the bottom. You'll see a turnoff there, and that's where that Quonset hut is over there. And it says no trespassing on that tree over there, which is different than what the topo maps say. According to the topo maps, that's all park land, but it obviously isn't, since it's marked no trespassing. So we'll just stay on the road here, and I'll get a few more pictures of the dwelling once we get up around this bend. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Chester Gap, 1994, and I hiked Lands Run Gap Road, which is an old fire road down the west side of the mountain. This red line here is Skyline Drive, coming down from the north, coming from Front Royal. And when you get to here, this is Lands Run Gap, mile marker 9. When you're coming down from the north, you turn off to the right here and park. There's a nice parking area right here. And then Lands Gap Road is this road right here. It's a nice road. It's well maintained. And you just follow it on down the side of the mountain. Now when you get down to right here, this blue line here, these are the headwaters of Lands Run. And you cross over, well, right before you cross over, if you turn to the right and come over to the west just a little ways, there's a waterfall right there. So the water comes down from up here, and it crosses under the road through a culvert, and then it goes back out into an open channel, and then right about here it drops down a significant amount, and so it's like a cascading waterfall. So that's worth looking at. And then you cross the culvert, and if you come up the hill right here, there's kind of an open area up here, open and flat area right here on top of this little rise. That is a good camping spot. I show this in my video, and also I have done an overnighter here. And this is nice because it's right next to the water. Okay, so then you come on, following around the side of the mountain here, down, around this bend. I'll talk about these other roads on the way back up. And then once you get around this bend here, the road starts to flatten out quite a bit. And you just follow it all the way down to the park boundary and the gate right here. Now, on the way down, on the right-hand side, on the other side of Lands Run, you'll notice somebody's house over there. I took some pictures of it. It looks like an old Quonset hut from like World War II, like a surplus Quonset hut that somebody bought and put up down there and converted into a house. But all this area over through here on the other side of the run, this is private property in through here, so don't go over there. And when you get down close to the gate, there's actually a little bridge that crosses over the run and provides access up to this guy's house. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is all in through here, there used to be, and I colored them in, they were shown as dotted lines on the map. These are old abandoned roads that started up here at Compton Gap. It came down through here a couple different ways and branched out and so forth, and eventually they all ran into this Lands Run Fireroad. One of them intersected here. One of them intersected here. Right here, there's another one that heads on off in this direction to the west and goes down the side of the mountain. There's one here right next to the camping area. And then just up a little ways is this other one. Now the ones that you can actually see, if you look carefully, the ones that you can actually see are this one right here. You can see that one, the trace of the road. You can see the trace of this road. You can see the trace of this road. You can see the trace of this road. Now this road right here, I looked for it, but I couldn't find any trace of this one. So this one's on the map, but I wasn't able to find any trace of it. So with all these old roads in through here, this must have been fairly well populated with people living on the side of the mountain back before the park was formed. This hike turned out to be, it was about 4.3 miles. I didn't bother to eat lunch because it only took me two and a half hours to hike down and back. Real nice hike, family friendly. You've got plenty of parking right here, little parking lot, and this is a nice road. There's a couple sections that are kind of steep, but most of it's pretty easy hiking. And actually, this road crosses over here at Lands Run Gap, and it continues down the east side of the mountain like this. We're here where it says restricted. That's the same road heading off to the east. I forgot what that's called now, but anyway, that's another hike. And that was the hike for today.